Welcome back to Theresa.is.Dead. My name is Theresa and I'm very much alive. And if you're new here, welcome. I have an awful garbage mouth where I tend to use fuck as a comma. If you're not into that or weird shit in general, baby, this is not the place for you. Feel free to exit the video here. No harm, no foul. But I'll remember our time fondly. If you want to jump straight to the overall review of the products, I'll leave a time code down below. Feel free to jump ahead. So the other day I went to go get my nails done and I had the pleasure of having this happen before my eyes. So I went to the nail salon by my job and I got a pedicure and a manicure. I got my pedicure, whatever, nothing eventful happened. As I'm getting my manicure, the lady is cleaning up my nails and shit like that. A man walks in and he looks like a handyman, looked like he had like a work shirt on, like Dickies pants. He had like a tool belt on. I'm assuming that he was like the super of the building or whatever the case maybe is. He walks in and then I hear all the girls kind of like they're all whispering, and then they like yell out, I guess, for the owner to come out. So the woman comes out and she says like, "Hello." The man says, "Hello." And then they walk a little bit past me, but like I'm still within earshot and it looks like they're standing in front of a bathroom door. So I hear the woman say,
"I'll be back in 1 moment."
And so she walks away. And so now he's just like standing looking around. He looks at me, he smiles, he says, "How are you?" I said, "I'm fine." He looks around, he's looking at other people, asks this other lady behind me, "How are you?" She says,
"I'm fine."
Whatever, it's a normal guy, right? The lady comes back and she has a small plastic bag and she just hands it to him.
"Oh, thank you very much. I'll see you next week."
He starts walking to the front of the nail salon, and before he reaches the door, he takes out this water bottle. Now this man had a water bottle infuser, and if you don't know what that is, it's basically like this thing. It's a water bottle, and in the middle part is an infuser where you could normally put fruit and you could flavor your water or whatever bullshit. Personally, I just think water is fine by itself, but I'm not here to fight with people on the internet because
y'all are wrong if you disagree with me.
So I see this man take out his infuser bottle and it looks like he's about to drink it, but instead he opens the little plastic bag that the lady gave him. He starts taking out stuff out of this bag, and what he takes out of this bag is what he takes out of this bag is socks. He takes socks out of this bag and they don't look like new socks. They look like, at best, gently used. And he takes them out and they're kind of like sheer kind of stockings. And he shoves them in the water infuser bottle. Like he shoves them down like an OxyClean commercial, like screws the lid back on and then he drinks it. I'm looking at everybody in this nail salon and not one person flinched, which makes me think that this happens on the regular. You know, I've seen some weird shit in a nail salon. You know, I've seen one woman say,
"Hey, I don't have a nail on my toe, just paint the skin."
I've had actually guys come in and just take women's shoes and smell them, and then the owner comes out and like shoos them away with a broom. I've seen that too. You gotta go to the ones in Queens. They do a lot of weird shit here. But this is the first one that I've seen in actually Midtown Manhattan where a man took socks and put it in an infuser water bottle. One, I don't think I could ever drink out of an infuser water bottle again, but it's fine though because I don't believe in infusing my water anyway. But yeah. So if you guys have infusers, think about that the next time you take a drink. Anyway, so that was my day. How was yours? On today's video, we're going to be talking about the neon green Huda Beauty Obsessions palette. But before I give you my overall thoughts, let me read you a little bit about the palette first. Neon Obsessions palette retails for $29. A range of neon pressed pigment palettes inspired by Huda's obsession for neon colors, offering versatile looks from subtle to vivid and colorful. Each Huda Beauty Neon Obsessions palette is packed with a selection of 9 highly pigmented mattes, creamy metallics, and striking shimmers, all with smooth and blendable texture. It's available in 3 neon color themes: neon orange, neon green, and neon pink. I would say the biggest difference between these 9-pan palettes versus these little Obsessions palettes is that there's a $2 price difference. You get a little bit less product in here than you do here, and the packaging is vastly different. So here it's more of like a cardboardy kind of finish, kind of feels a little bit flimsy, although it is still very nice. You do get a mirror here, but granted, I feel like if you chuck it across the room, you could break this. This, on the other hand, while you're paying that $2 more, you get slightly less product, maybe 0.002 grams, like very, very small amount. You get this nice little full-size mirror here, but overall you get a beautiful plastic case. So if I chucked it across the room, it has a better chance of surviving. So when you open her up, you get a nice little full-size mirror here, and then you get your 9 shades. Out of all 3 palettes, this is the one that obviously spoke to me the most. However, I'm kind of like into fucking orange right now. That sounded really weird. The other thing I do want to point out is that I know there's like a neon-esque shade in here, like a light yellow. It does not look anything like the shades that are in here. For today's video, I'm going to show you two different looks. I really focus more on the neon greens as well as the pink. So for today's look, it's the pink, but the first look that I'm going to show you is all the neon greens. As for my experience playing with this, I'd say it's on par with this one, except there are a couple of things in this that are a little bit of a miss for me. So let me explain. So the mattes in the sky are, to me, are really good. Yes, they're a little bit powdery and there's some kick up and there's some fallout, especially with more of the neon green shades up here, but overall it has a nice pigment. And with the lighter shades, you kind of have to build them up a little bit. When you do build them up to your desired effect, they look very beautiful and it actually has a very long lasting power. The pink I had little to no fallout with, which is pretty fantastic considering I did my base first and then I did my eyeshadow after and prayed to God that there'd be no pink bukkake on my face, but as you see, it looks pretty good. So matte wise, awesome. I have no complaints with that. As for the shimmers in the sky, they're very, very messy. They're very crumbly. There's a lot of fallout on it. Some of them actually hit hard pan. You see, like, I haven't had this palette for that long and they just look fucked up, all right? They look jacked the fuck up. It looks like a tiny meteor hit this palette.
What the fuck?
And it's not like I'm taking a brush and fucking the shit out of this palette. I'm not. I'm being very gentle. I find that the shimmers overall are very, very sensitive and they definitely move around a lot in the pan and they create little craters. I find that using setting spray was the thing that worked best with them, but overall though, they're just messy. But they're not terrible. I will say though that these two shades are eerily very similar. They could have dealt with one of them. So for example, let me show you what I'm talking about. They are the same color except one is just slightly darker. I almost wish they got rid of the lighter color just to keep the darker color and then included a new color in there to kind of give it a little bit more depth. This color I would say is probably the worst one, which is this white one here. I can't make it work for the life of me. I've tried everything. I've used it as an inner corner and I guess it's really more of a topper, so to speak. You really almost think it's going to be like this neon green to kind of pink shift color, and you don't get that. Instead, you get whatever the fuck this is. I don't know what the fuck that is. And I'm sorry, the reason why there's a little bit of pink on it is because I think I touched a little bit of the pan. Yeah, I did. Let me actually just swatch that again. Yeah, it's like, it's weak. It could be potentially a good highlighter though. I'm not gonna lie about that. Let's see. I could potentially make this a highlighter, I guess. Of course, this is over some existing highlighter, so I probably look fucking nuts right now, but who cares? I feel like a glowy alien slut.
And I love it so much.
That shade kind of sucked. I really didn't mind this shade. This shade was really nice as well, but I definitely have this color in my collection at least 50 times over. So it's not really innovative or anything like that. And I also hit hard pan with the shimmer shades, which is really fucking weird because I haven't had it for that long. So with those issues aside, I really didn't have a bad time with this palette. I actually really enjoyed my time with it. I thought I created some really nice looks with this. I found that this palette was incredibly easy to use. A makeup look out of this palette will not take more than like maybe 10 minutes of your time, if that. I would say even less. And that's what I like about this palette, is that it is really easy to use, but overall I just don't like the fact that things are hitting hard pan. They're a little bit crumbly and they're a little bit messy. Issues aside though, kind of make me question whether or not I should purchase another palette from this line, only because while I do like it, there's a lot more issues with it that, I don't know, I don't feel like I should necessarily have to deal with, considering I have other things in my collection that perform as well as this, if not better, and I don't have these experiences with. So that's kind of like where I'm at with this. It's not the worst thing I've ever used, but it's not the most amazing thing that I've ever used, but I enjoyed my time with it. I kind of feel like, yeah, I'll go on a second date with you. Like, you weren't that terrible. Like, that's kind of how I feel with this palette. Is this a standalone palette? No, not at all. For even today's look, for the lower lash line, I had to use another palette. While this is a very, very beautiful color story, for me, I felt like I couldn't use it on its own other than using like maybe if I wanted to make like a monochromatic lime green yellow look, yes. But overall though, like I need a little bit more depth in my eye looks. Like I need like maybe a brown or a black or something, just something that kind of gives a little bit more darkness and depth into my look. And I felt like I couldn't achieve that with just this. Do I think this is worth its price point? Not at all. While I really didn't mind my overall experience with this, I definitely think for $2 less, you can get a solid little palette, say like this, and you'll have a better experience with it. And also no hard pan, which is really fucking nice. So to me, it's not really worth it. So with that said, I want to hear from you guys. Do you have this palette? Do you have this specific palette? Do you have other palettes from the Neons line? What do you think of it? Do you hate it? Do you care? Blah, blah, blah. Let me know. So on that note, I want to say thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it as always. Feel free to like, comment, and hit that subscribe button. It's fucking free. And hit that bell icon for notifications of all my future posts. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, on Discord. On Thursdays, we do a podcast called The Miserable 3, as well as my husband's Twitch that I sometimes take over and play paper girl. And if you're into that shit, all the links will be listed down below. I'll see you little pumpkins later. Bye.